Oh, we're live. I didn't know it was already going to start.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Reverend. Excuse me.
Somebody said start late. Did you just get a text
What
message?
time is it? It's like 2 minutes to 1:45. Almost 1:45.
It's coming. Could you say we're live?
Yes, we are.
Good morning out there. Or whatever it is that you're.
Happy holidays. You know, all that good stuff. I may put my head down. Does that mean I'm not listening?
No. I would just assume you're praying.
I am.
Assume you're praying.
Prayer,
So,
Pastor.
hey, let's think about this. Let's do this this affirmation here at the top of the page together. In one spirit, we see God everywhere, in everyone and in everything. Happen. What's the good news? Oh yeah, I see that. I see. Somebody says I'm running late. Yeah, I am too. But we already have a given that we're starting 15 minutes late. So we can't just keep stretching it out farther than that, right? Somebody, Marley says start late.
It's like
Mark
missing
says,
the
Mark
credits.
says I'm running late.
And everybody in that group text is getting all that.
Yes. Yeah, nice.
That helps them all.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I do that once too. Yeah,
David, didn't you get a job?
Yes, sir, I did.
All right, so there's the good
Congratulations,
news,
Dave.
right?
And I got a new phone now.
Yeah, and got a new job and got housing.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Two big things. Can we put Indonesia on the prayer list?
No, I'm at the end.
Just worry about you.
Yeah. There's a volcano that caused a typhoon
Alright,
on the
yeah,
water.
there's a tsunami, yes,
No,
so we're
tsunami.
seeing everyone
That's what it
finding their way.
Tsunami.
So,
It's very
anybody
sad.
else need to go on the prayer list?
Eric?
Mike. Ed. Tommy and Matt. Tommy and Matt. Please.
What is the, take a look here, what's the day of the year?
23rd.
I know I got mixed up.
What are we, like 355 or something? 350.
56.
Well, there's only, what, 10 days left in the year, so it's not too hard to figure out.
Yes.
Coffee's delicious.
It is.
That's Fatima. Compliments of Fatty today. Fatty Arbuckle.
Well, is everybody, got themselves as prepared as they're gonna be for Christmas festivities?
Ready for
right where we're at. Relax, release, and let go. Focus on the breath. This is how it goes. First we breathe. You just breathe. This is our meditation tool that goes with us wherever we are. Your breath. We just notice how it works. Breathing in, we are filled. And breathing out, we relax. Breathing in, we're filled with love. And breathing out, we relax into life. First we breathe, and then we still the mind. We still the mind by focusing on the breath. And then we become aware. And now we open our awareness. Eyes closed. And listen to the outer. Just noticing all the sounds. And if there are any distractions, you don't worry about it. You just notice. And gently let them go. Hear the sound of the wind. First we breathe. Then we still. And then we become aware. We watch the breath. Feel the breath. We know the breath. Thoughts will come. It's okay. If we lose track of the breath, it's okay. Just notice what is happening. And each time, gently return to the breath. And then today, maybe tomorrow, uncertain as to when. But it will only come with practice. You say amen? Amen. Listen up. You saw the sign, right? You have to go around the other side and say, I got it. I got it. So it's so weird, the lesson for today is, I think we'll just name it Quiet Down. That sounds good, Quiet Down. But then the just for today was Listen Up. And that was not what was on the sign. If you read it, you'll see. Anyway, quiet down. Listen. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, a little bit of humbug out there. It's all right. It's a symbol. It's a symbol. Symbol for this emerging consciousness. Remember, years ago, we used to do have all the kids in the Sunday school do a little play, and the last line was always, Christ is born in us today. This is, you could say, if you like, if it's more comfortable, you could say reborn, or you could just say, oh, I finally realized it, or whatever you like. But this is, of course, what one of Paul's greatest cryptic sayings. After he asked everybody to quiet down and listen up, he said, I'm going to tell you a secret. So this is why. This is why we got to quiet down and listen up, so we can get all the secrets, so we can hear these things as they occur. So I'm going to tell you a secret. This is a secret that's been hidden for ages and generations. And you know, I remember I used this technique one time at the jail meeting that the Hospitals and Institutions Committee took up to the county jail. And I just leaned across the table and I looked and I just whispered, I'm gonna tell you a secret. And there had been little conversations going on, and instantly everybody was quiet. It's interesting how that works. So Paul says, I'm going to tell you a secret that's been hidden for ages and generations. Now we got to remember, and I always have to say this because it's so important to what he says next, that an age is considered 1,000 years. And generations, of course, we know generations of us, right? So this secret has been hidden for a long time. Ages and generations. And then he says, Christ in you, your hope of glory. Yeah. So we come to this awareness that this Christ consciousness is trying to wake up in us, or trying to wake us up to it. And that it is, so how long, if you think about how long have you been here in this particular existence, you think about that. Some of us may have been here for a few generations, but none of us have been here for ages. Priscilla, it might seem like ages, but it's not. All right? So what this means is that this Christ consciousness was in us before we were born. I don't know, maybe that's not the right reading, but that's what I get out of it. So, more than that, always. It's always been that. So this Christmas time is the time that we try to become aware of. It's like a symbol, just like it's kind of like any other holiday that has some auspiciousness to it. Is we can take it like some literal event that occurred. By the way, taking it literally is kind of difficult, because if you read the Gospels, they give the narrative of this Christmas time, the birth narrative, that whole thing. They're all different. It's different. It's not the same. Not the same. So it's hard to read it literally when they're not the same. Okay, so which one? And in the times when they were written, it was really clear which one. It was the one that they read in the church that you were in. They didn't read all of them. They read one of them. That was the story. That's your story. Stick to it. Don't forget. So, but the point is that this emerging consciousness, and here's what I like to think. I may be fooling myself, but what I would like to think is that this Christ consciousness is emerging in more and more of us in the present day. Some people say no. Some people say no, it's not getting lighter, it's getting darker. It's not getting lighter. I say it's getting lighter. I say that in general, consciousness is raising right now. And this is the time that we want to celebrate that and encourage it in ourselves and in others. And we are directly responsible for allowing this to happen. In order for this consciousness to become an awareness of our own, we have to accept it. First, we recognize that it's there. Just recognize that despite all of the horrible things that you think about yourself in those dark moments that you don't tell anybody about, or maybe you do, or maybe you tell somebody. Despite what you think, despite all of the bad things you think about yourselves and all of the bad things that you think about other people, that there is this bright light in you. And it will shine away all of that darkness. We just let it. We just let it. And the way it works, though, is that we actually have to bring the darkness to the light. So in other words, we don't say, I'll lovely ignore the darkness and get over here by the light. We take whatever the darkness is and we make it our gift to the light. And the light accepts it and shines it out of our consciousness. Seems like it's taken a long time. I'm starting to understand what ages and generations means. So, we can think about it as well, we can think about it as this infant. But the other thing about it is, yes, the infant, the reason that the infant is the symbol is that it's the idea of innocence. The idea of I guess you think of it as the idea of a clean slate. But really, the Christ consciousness, the reason it's about innocence is because it does not see, or it sees through and over any seeming evil, if you will. That's in quotations, okay? That's why the Christ child is this portrayal of innocence. Is that this is the birth of seeing through sin. Seeing through sin. Realizing that it's just an illusion. And when I say that, I'm not meaning that you didn't do the things, or somebody else didn't do the things that you consider to be, and we can talk about that, mistakes, sins, errors, whatever you want. It's just that we did them in a movie. We did them in a TV show that we are directing and producing and starring in and casting all of the roles. So in my movie, I'm casting you. I'm casting you into the various roles that you are supposed to play. You are not cooperating. And so this is what's going on. And in your movie, you are casting me in a role. And I am not cooperating. And this sets up the conflict. This sets up the conflicts that continue. Because even the people that we like the most, if we hang out long enough, they disappoint us. Even those we think are on side with us. They do something, say something, or they seem to. So the Christ consciousness sees through all of this nonsense. Sees right through to the truth that we are all son, daughter of God. Always together, always one. This is just the essence and the pinnacle of forgiveness. Really the only effective forgiveness is to see right through all of that. I am sorry, Ashley, I was just about to swear in church.
Don't do
To
it.
see through all of that mess. And first of all, realizing it's my mess. It's my mess because I have assigned all of the values. In my perception, I have assigned all the values. I would say, well, wait a minute, I was brought up right. I was brought up with these values. My family instilled these principles in me. So you took them. And not only did you take them, you took your own interpretation of them. So by those judgments, we have judged the world as dangerous, as less than, our brothers and sisters as sinful. The whole symbolic message of Jesus throughout the Gospels is this movement towards forgiveness. Movement towards this pure forgiveness. It's forgiveness that says, no matter what I think you did, no matter what I think you did, I see the truth. I see that you are love. And so let me then take the love and light that I know is in me and give it to you. A Christmas gift. We're having a challenging, we have physical challenges. We have physical challenges right now. That's all I'm going to say about it. So it's not as an abundant and prosperous looking Christmas as it has been in past times. But here's the gift that I want to give today. You are holy. You are very holy. So what we're doing today is to help this Christ consciousness be established in all of our endeavors. We remember that the one goal of forgiveness is that we see sanity restored, and with us all living things brought back into the original oneness. Joy is upon us as we feel the completion of our ancient goal. We are sharing in the love of God, basking in the light of Spirit, immersed in the forgiveness of the Christ. We'll accept nothing less than wholeness in this precious moment. We have let go of every want. Let go of every want. We receive in return something much greater. We are very holy. We are very holy as we forgive any seeming lack We seem to forget. We remember to forgive. We remember to forgive. And we are very holy indeed. So the 11th step in the recovery program says that we sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. So what is it? What is this thing that we're trying to quiet down and listen up for? It's that voice. It's the voice of the Christ consciousness. The Christ child in us is speaking. It's what Elijah heard in the cave when he's looking everywhere. He's all over the place. He's all over the place. Looking, he sees sees a forest fire. He sees God in the forest fire. He's looking everywhere. He ends up in this cave, and of course it's all symbolic. He's going apart from all this sensory stuff, and goes into the dark cave, and the still small voice says, "Be still." No. That I'm God. This voice of God speaking in us, saying, "You are my will. You are my will. You are my will in action in the world." God's will is only for good. You can't be bad. God's will is only for good. We are all connected to this good will. Suffering is not part of it. Doesn't mean that you don't think you're suffering. In the world, suffering comes. But it is God's will that it cease. Spirit is kind and generous. Kindness and generosity are part of you. We're trying to have this shift in consciousness. We're trying to go from this place of thinking we are at risk, so we must do what we must do to get whatever it is that we think we need to get. We're changing. We're trying to change and let this thing be born in us that says, I am not going to make any decisions for myself alone, because I am not alone. I am not going to make any decisions by myself alone, because I am not alone. It becomes a state of mind, it becomes an attitude. Instead of a selfish attitude, instead of a self-seeking attitude, it becomes an attitude of openness, where we are always asking. Not making decisions by ourselves alone means we're asking for guidance from this Christ consciousness. Guide us in what we are to do next. Listen up. Listen for this guidance. And the guidance comes. And the thing about it is, the guidance doesn't come as some kind of self-help course. It doesn't come as a formula. It doesn't come with a list of, in this particular situation, do this, and in that particular situation, do that. The guidance says, stay in the moment right now. Stay in the moment right now and listen. And I will guide you into what needs to be done right now. And then whatever we do right now is not for ourselves alone. It's the best for everyone involved. And it has been not because we are focused on, I want to be a good person. Not because we are focused on, I want everybody to think that I'm doing good. It is just because we know that what is best for everyone involved is what is best for us. And we feel better. And the suffering drops away. Spirit is kind and generous. And its benevolence is unending. The divine will that is in us is actually providing care and support for us and for everyone around us right now. This goodwill is offering us peace and happiness in every moment, every single moment. almost something bad seemed to have happened 5 minutes ago. Or a second ago. Right now, in this moment, this Christ consciousness is saying, give love. Give love, give service, give your gift of love. Many times we may have wished or hoped for some good thing to come to us. We may even have demanded that God give up the goods. Come on now, right now, prove yourself now. Give me this thing that I think I want. Praying, begging, even demanding that God provide this desired good. But in our quietness, when we are listening, we realize that we are connected to all of the good. We're connected right now to all of the good that the universe has for us. It is not something that we have to long for. This goodwill is just something that we have to accept. And then by accepting it, we have to pass it on. This connection to all good is our link to all the good that we need. And so connected to it, we give it. And what the holiday is giving stuff. Let's give stuff. You know, it's a whole, and I'm not going to get into all of this stuff. It's fun. Listen, it is fun. And it's nice to be able to buy presents and stuff like that and give them, and there's nothing, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But these are just symbols for what is real. These are just symbols for the idea is to give ourselves. To give of ourselves. To give the love that is within us to those that seem to be all around us. So, and I heard, people say, repeat this saying, it is, it is holier to give than to receive. It is better to give than to receive. But I say, you can't give anything that you haven't already received. How are you going to give something you haven't received already? So it's a cycle. It's a cycle. It seems to be in our idea of linear time, it seems to be a cycle that one thing follows another, but it's really happening all at the same time. It is simultaneous. Receive, give, receive. Receive, give, receive. Receive, give, receive. It happens all at the same time. So what I'm saying here is when that Christ consciousness whispers to us, give yourself away. Realize that the yourself that it is talking about is the love of God. Give yourself away. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
We got 2 live viewers.